Firm is a corporate finance and securities boutique firm with about 40 professionals here in the New York, New Jersey area. And we really have a unique position in the marketplace. Most of our attorneys, if not all of them, have at one time practiced at some of the biggest and largest and most prestigious law firms on the planet.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Joseph Lucosky. He's the founding and managing partner at Lucosky Brookman. Joseph, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Kelsey.
Yeah, excited to have you. So Joseph, why don't you start and tell me a little bit about yourself?
I am an attorney, as you know. That's why we're here. I run a 45-person boutique corporate finance law firm. I'm also the father of 4 amazing teenagers, one of which who's in college at the University of Tennessee, so go Volunteers. That also qualifies me as a UTK parent, as they say. And as my kids and lots of clients like to say, I am a professional problem solver. And that goes hand in hand with what we do on a daily basis and how we serve our clients at the highest level. And I think that's, a pretty well-rounded description of what I am and who I do, what I do.
Well, I appreciate that background kind of, of you telling us a little, laying the groundwork for how, you came into your role here. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about Lucosky Brookman?
Sure. The firm is a corporate finance and securities boutique firm with about 40 professionals here in the New York, New Jersey area. And we really have a unique position in the marketplace. Most of our attorneys, if not all of them, have at one time practiced at some of the biggest and largest and most prestigious law firms on the planet. In fact, we were formed as a quasi spin out from 2 very large law firms, and Law 100 law firms, which is very unique because when practice areas or boutique firms are created from these large and Law 100 firms, usually they are created in the areas of litigation or intellectual property or real estate. Very rarely, if ever, are they in the high-end corporate transactional space, meaning capital markets, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, mergers and acquisitions, those types of transactions that are traditionally and historically reserved for the largest firms. So we started 12 years ago. In fact, we launched on Valentine's Day 2011, which is a funny story because we were going to launch the second Monday in February or the third Monday, whatever that was, not knowing it was Valentine's Day. So not only did we have a mad scramble to launch the firm, but we figured out with our wives and everyone else that it was Valentine's Day. Now we have a running joke and we suffer through the firm's anniversary, which is Valentine's Day every single year.
That's fantastic. That's a great start story.
Yeah. The other funny part about that is in our business, February 14th is a big date for filings for public companies. So we compounded this date. So it's really 3 things now. It's Valentine's Day, the anniversary of the firm, and the day that all of our clients rush to do something before what happens, their financial statements go stale. So we really put the pressure on by founding the firm on that day.
Perfect storm. Well, that's really interesting. And so kind of talking about your clients being a corporate boutique firm, talk to me about, without going into, specifics of who your clients are, obviously, talk to me about kind of the trends that you see of who Lucosky Brookman works with.
Sure. I mean, we work with really corporations and entities that are in and around the world of finance, whether that's the capital markets or on the mergers and acquisitions side, basically any business that has a business problem to solve. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we are. I mean, we are attorneys because I guess the rules make us say we're attorneys, but the reality is we're professional problem solvers. I mean, I wasn't kidding. When my kids and clients and others talk about problem solving, that is really the essence of the firm. And we carved a niche into this high-end corporate practice and world by being proactive and by solving problems. So that really allows us to serve all the way from the beginning of life cycle of a company from the startup phase through growth and expansion, all the way through perhaps restructuring and exit. And a lot of times we're working with both public and private companies, which again, the public side is traditionally reserved for the larger law firms. And our, boutique firm has really carved out a very nice niche. The one thing though that is very special and that we focus on is really we serve the entrepreneur. We serve the entrepreneur who is looking to get to the next level, who's looking to grow their business and looking for good, solid, proactive problem-solving skills to partner with and help them get to wherever it is they're going. And I think that is, really not just who we serve, but how we help them in a way that I think most lawyers traditionally don't think about.
Mhm.
Most lawyers are good lawyers, and they're ingrained in the process, and they're good. But I think there are certain lawyers and certain firms, us being one of them, that are really good about thinking about that next step and focused on results and execution. And that is really how we have become known in the marketplace.
Mhm, mhm. And, being in the industry, that you're in, the outcomes are so important, being, driven for that. I imagine that's what's made you obviously successful over the past 12 years since you've really launched. So when you're talking about being a professional problem solver, I love that. What are some of the challenges that your customers are facing when you're talking about, helping them solve these problems? What would you say those are?
Yeah, I mean, they run the gamut. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something as simple as, just trying to move the process along. Because when you're working on these big transactions, a lot of times the system gets glutted up. There's so many different parties trying to do so many different things, and sometimes just nothing happens at all.
Mhm.
It's our job to, one, be good stewards of the process, or I like to say good quarterbacks,
Mhm.
right? We are quarterbacks, in addition to being problem solvers, in addition to being attorneys, and really helping whatever transaction we're working on or whatever case we're working on or whatever, we're doing for our clients, really trying to keep things moving in a way that is uh, uh, approved by them to fulfill their objectives. And timing often is very critical. The other thing that we do is really use our creativity, our experience, our drive, our passion to really help them execute. And, that can be sometimes from, again, a simple problem to a real solution that's needed where the company will live or die and, under the solutions that we come up with and provide.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so it's a very interactive, proactive, problem solving approach to practicing law. And I will tell you, Kelsey, our clients expect that and they demand that. Entrepreneurs are tough people. We're entrepreneurs and they expect, great things.
Mhm.
And my team and I and everybody that has contributed to building this firm have that same mentality. And we rise, and at least we do our best to rise to the level of the occasion that, we're called upon to do.
Mhm. I was actually, it's funny you mentioned that talking about being an entrepreneur because I was going to say, I imagine the grit that you show, as being the founding and managing partner of, Lucosky Brookman, you've shown that grit. You understand what it takes to take a company to that next level. So I imagine your clients find that really beneficial for you to give them that insight as well.
That is great. I love that word grit. You have me very excited. Now my kids are going to see this and they're going to say, "There goes dad again." In fact, I got all my kids shirts that say hashtag grit on them. And we wear them. When I used to compete in triathlons, and I still do some
Yeah.
minor triathlon stuff, that is a word that I talk about a lot. And it's the passion and perseverance of continuing with something over a long, sustained period of time to achieve the objective. And Angela Duckworth, I don't know if you ever heard of her or any of your listeners have. She is the foremost authority on grit. And it is true. We have perseverance, we have passion, we have grit. We have closed deals that others in the industry, other lawyers and bankers and observers thought impossible, can't be done, need to be restructured. Why are you wasting your time? And we end up getting them done. And you know, um, it is a real honor to serve our entrepreneurial clients and the companies that we serve and get those results because one, it's exciting, and two, it's extremely rewarding to help really drive results. But grit is a great word, and I will forever love you bringing that up.
No, I know. What are the chances, right? That's fantastic. It's certainly a word that I live by too, because I think it takes, so many different characteristics in and compiles it into one word, that, really helps people, drive good business, gets them out of bed in the morning. So do you think it's that grit that is really your business driver and, what helps you to continue to do a great job for your clients?
Yeah, it is definitely. You have to have grit. You have to have passion and energy and excitement about doing what we're doing because it's not easy, right? Being in the world of high stakes corporate transactional and litigation is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart.
Mhm.
And we don't seek out or retain or even look at attorneys who don't exhibit at least some of those qualities.
Mhm.
Um, so it's really important that everybody have the same mindset to drive forward to serve our clients and show up uh, daily, show up prepared, show up consistently. That is really the focus of our firm. And we talk about this, we preach this, we teach this, we collaborate on this, 3, 4, 5 times a week with our different groups. So nobody is left out in the cold. We're all sort of preaching from the same sort of page. But I will tell you, um, the other factor is I think in order to be a um, truly great attorney or truly great whatever it is you're doing, at least in the service business, you have to have a servant's heart. And you have to really want to serve others. Now, we can serve our families and our communities and our colleagues and then our clients. But I really think that you know, most of our attorneys, if not all of them, and certainly me, come from the place of it is our job to serve, and we really adopt the servant's heart mentality and really that's what keeps us moving forward to get results for our clients.
Mhm. So pivoting a little bit, kind of talking about the current state of the economy and the market, how has that affected the business, if it has at all?
Well, it's definitely a challenging time
Yeah.
in the economy, and certainly not helping that the you know talking heads talk about recession and interest rate increases and housing market and supply chain, all these things sort of come together to sort of dictate how capital is raised and how transactions are executed. I will tell you, it's been challenging, but here's the thing for us. Even though the markets have been a little choppy and transactions have slowed a bit, we have been incredibly busy. And I truly believe the reason we have been incredibly busy is because of our mindset and our approach to the practice of law. And I will tell you, if you asked me what I did for a living, I would not tell you I was an attorney. That would be my third or fourth choice. I would talk about all these other criteria that we've talked about: being a problem solver, having servant's heart, serving, being in the service business. And I think that our reputation in the marketplace, not just among our clients, but among referral sources and among those who have worked opposite us. I mean, we get referrals from other attorneys that are competitors. They send us referrals when they're conflicted out or they think we would be right for an engagement. Um, so it's really our mindset and our approach to the practice of law that I think has muted that effect on the economy. Now, I'm realistic. We're clearly optimistic and we're being cautious and we're acting like everyone else in a lot of ways when we talk about the economy. But I do think that we have still remained very busy despite maybe closings being a little bit delayed and transactions taking a longer lead time.
Mhm. I'm wondering too if going back to that grit and that drive, I imagine that your clients sense that within you, that you're willing to go above and beyond, you're willing to put in the extra hours and talk about that. And I imagine that builds a sense of trust between your clients and you, that, you'll have their back through this economy, through the market, and through whatever challenges may arise.
Yeah, I mean, that's an excellent point. And we preach this as well. I mean, we really do. We actively and openly and consistently talk about these concepts. I mean, when we are the red zone law firm. I mean, when you have a serious issue, whether that's a litigation or you have a corporate transaction that needs to get done, and not just get done, but has to get done under a certain time frame. We are the firm that generally gets it done. Now, again, we're not magicians and we're not, although people would sometimes say we are, we really aren't. We just try hard.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, something that's lacking, and not just in the legal profession, but in a lot of areas. Trying hard, having passion, having creativity and energy gives our clients the confidence to know that, hey, they're going to get it done. And if they can't get it done, then at least we know that it just can't be done, because they will get it done. If there is a will, there's a way, and that is our attitude. And clients do rely upon us for us, and they often comment on this. They tell us, they send us emails, they send us text messages. They want to sing our praises for that loyalty, for that passion, for that perseverance. That gives them confidence that they should be able to get to the next level by engaging with us.
That's fantastic, Joseph. As we start to wrap up this conversation, is there anything that you want to leave our listeners with, either, about the firm, about the industry, about grit, anything you want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we talked about a lot of the concepts that define our firm and how we started and how we act in the marketplace, but that's really it. I'll say that, we have a track record of performing, and we wake up every day. We are excited to do what we do. We have a passion to solve problems. Now, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, but, when we do, we fix them. We fix them quickly. We fix them with excitement and enthusiasm. And we really try to keep our eyes on the end result. The slogan of our firm is relationship focused, results driven. And it is truly a perfect testament to what we do. We care about relationships. We're loyal as the day is long to our clients. And we also have our eye on the end game, the result, what's going to come down the pike. How do we get to that next level? We never lose the forest in the trees, or the trees in the forest, whatever that saying is. We generally try to keep our eye on the ball and with the drive towards the next level.
Yeah, no, and I think you summarized, with the slogan of the company perfectly, kind of everything that we talked about in the interview as well, being relationship focused, results driven, so important, in across all industries, but specifically when you're trusting, your company with a firm. Obviously it sounds like, Lucosky Brookman is the go-to for the New York, New Jersey area, and I look forward to following your travels as the company continues to grow and expand. So, Joseph, this has been a great conversation. I appreciate you talking about all of the different, arms of the company, the importance of grit, the importance of relationships, and I appreciate you being on Business Ninjas today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure speaking.
Yeah, great to have you.